leap of faith.
This is the way. Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Tells me I'm most relentless.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Film Optix, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network, where we discuss film, TV, and everything pop culture related. But today, we're doing another Film Optix review for you guys. We're going to be reviewing Invincible, that is going to be streaming on Amazon Video towards the end of this month, I believe. We're recording this actually early for everyone because this week has been crazy with Zack Snyder's Justice League. We have Falcon and Winter Soldier. So we're just trying to give you guys the best content from our podcast that we possibly can.
March 26th.
March 26th is when it drops. But this will be coming out on March 19th, the same day as Falcon and the Winter Soldier, dropping on Disney Plus for the general public. So, and I am your host, Christian, of course, and I'm joined by my co-host and my good friend, Devin. How are you enjoying Justice League so far?
Well, we had some internet issues midway through, which just shows how long it is.
That's very, very unfortunate. I'm sorry. Very, very sorry about that. But you will persevere. You will get through it. But how's your week?
I need a break anyways. It's a long one.
It is. It really is. And that's one thing I actually I liked about it. You know, I would watch a few parts and then, you know, get up, move around. Because, I mean, 4 hours is a long time to be sitting there, unless you're like a complete diehard fan for that kind of film. But, yeah, it's daylight savings time. How'd you feel about how do you feel about it not being dark by like 5:30, 6 o'clock? It's nice. I
feel like we shouldn't have done the last one. Like, we shouldn't have to fix it to go back to this. We shouldn't have done the one from before.
Yeah. So spring ahead, fall back. So, yeah, usually during that time, I'm glad it's daylight savings now. Daylight saving time, not daylight savings. Sorry, I always mess that up. But yeah, it's currently almost 6 o'clock and it's still bright outside. It's amazing. I don't feel like I have to go to bed. It doesn't feel like it's 10 o'clock anymore. This is fantastic. Amazing.
Yeah. Waking up when it's dark, you don't have to be blinded by sunlight rays in your eyes.
See, I actually like that part. I just don't like the latter half of the day. Like, but that's just me. You know, I'm weird when it comes to that stuff. But before we begin today's review, we would like to thank Amazon for allowing us to watch the first 3 episodes early, which is what this podcast is going to be covering, what this episode is going to be covering, excuse me.
And that's also what is releasing March 26th, the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of bingeability for you, and then we'll get into the weekly episodes after that.
Oh man, we're going to have to we'll balance that somehow between Falcon and Winter Soldier and Invincible. We
just combine them.
Oh, God. Who's going to be the thumbnail, Devin? Who? Who's going to be the thumbnail? It's all right. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is only 6 weeks anyway. So maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Any hooser. Let me begin by reading the synopsis, and we'll just kind of dive in. And actually, before we actually get into that, little bit of housekeeping news for everyone. You can listen to our podcast on platforms around the internet, and make sure to subscribe, follow us, excuse me, on Instagram and Twitter at Film Optix. Optix is spelled with an X for all of our latest announcements. This is like an emergency pod, by the way. So this is just us kind of, you know, I was just sitting there watching some iCarly, and he's like, hey, you want to record for Invincible today? I was like, it kind of caught me off guard. I was like, oh, I thought you were watching Justice League. And he's like, yeah, internet went out, but
yeah,
we are here.
We're gonna do spoiler free because it's not out yet, and we want everyone to watch this,
and we want everyone to listen to this.
Without giving too much away. That we so far we are loving this show, like immensely.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Invincible is it is a superhero show. Shocker. We get another one of those, but it's an animated superhero show. And the synopsis reads, an adult animated series based on the Skybound / Image comic about a teenager whose father is the most powerful superhero on the planet. That's is basic as it gets. Creators are Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley and Cory Walker, and some big stars in this. We get Stephen Yeun.
So many stars.
Yeah, Stephen Yeun, J.K. Simmons, Sandra Oh. There's a few others in there too.
Zazie Beetz, Walton Goggins,
Jillian Jacobs, she's in there too. It's a nice Mark Hamill.
John Hamm, Seth Rogen.
It is a great.
Zachary Quinto.
Oh, there we go.
Clancy Brown, Mr. Krabs himself.
Ezra Miller.
John Hamm. Mahershala Ali.
It's good
Jonathan
stuff.
Groff.
Yeah,
Just keeps going.
it literally keeps. This is one of these stacked voice casts I've ever seen, and of course, like we said, we've only seen the first 3 episodes. So there's been a few voices I've been able to pick up. Yeah, you said Seth Rogen as well. So
Yeah, he also is producing.
yeah,
Just like with the boys.
it is insane. I mean, Amazon Video or Prime or whatever you want to call it. It's not my go-to streaming service, but when they drop a new show, it's usually pretty good from what I've experienced so far. They had The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. They had Fleabag. They have this. They have The Boys. I believe Jack Ryan's Tom Clancy is on there as well.
And the Michael B. Jordan one.
Yeah, and the Michael B. Jordan, with John Krasinski, Michael B. Jordan as well. So it's cool stuff, man. Usually it's just not my number one, but anytime there's something that even piques my interest, I'm always willing to give it a shot. But let's just start talking about this bad boy. What were your first thoughts about this? I want to hear what's going on in your brain.
I think if anyone out there is a fan of the boys, you have to give this a shot, first of all, because they're not completely similar, but it's the same type of same type of genre where it's the rated R superhero type show. It's just animated.
Yeah.
But if the animation scares you away, like there's some people that just don't like animation, just watch the first episode till the end. And if that doesn't sell you, like, I don't know what will, because I was hooked. Like after that first episode, they give you so much to work with in the end. There's so much mystery and there's so much like that just pulls you right in. It just doesn't let go.
Yeah.
And it hasn't the next 2 episodes either.
I would agree with that for sure. And by the way, this is actually going to be 8 episodes altogether. Just found out, well, looking through IMDb, unless it's lying to me. But the series is also directed by Jeff Allen as well. But I completely agree with you. I know that when it comes to adult animated or just animated shows overall, it's like people just aren't as interested. And it's like, this is comic books like bread and butter. Like this is basically, I mean, minus the comics, like where it all started, you have the comic books, the panels and whatnot. And that's how we got amazing shows like Batman v Superman. I mean, not Batman v Superman, excuse me. I don't want to put any disrespect on the name that is Batman in the animated series. But we do have, there's a lot of great animated superhero shows out there between Batman, the animated series. We had, oh my gosh, Spider-Man as well. And it's just, and the
greatest Spider-Man movie of all time, animated. Greatest superhero movie of all time is animated.
Yeah. We also, Spectacular Spider-Man, even Young Justice. Like these are all cult classics. Well, I think Young Justice can kind of wiggle its way in there, but it's like we had no idea how engaging or interested like this show was going to be, because we didn't really know much about Invincible going forward. But it just I
kept hearing like little rumblings of hype, like from people who read the comics. There are people that think the comics is like one of the best comics ever written. Yeah,
and I've Leo from Geekly Goods, he's been reading a few of the comics for Invincible, and he actually likes it a lot. I feel like it's been ages since we've had a recent day animated superhero series. So it's
an original one too, like not Marvel or DC, right. Something new.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, the show starts off with what it means to be a hero, but on a deeper level. because we kind of see that with the main character.
The casting is so perfect. Stephen Yeun, his voice is so perfect for this character. And then J.K. Simmons, his voice for the grizzled veteran superhero. It's just perfect. Commissioner Gordon himself.
Commissioner Gordon. There you go, Devin. You've been paying attention, watching that Justice League. I see you. Well, he was in 2017, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. But it had been so long since I've seen the 2017 Justice League. Like when I watched Zack Snyder's, I was like, I knew there was like a few scenes I knew that were going to be in there, but it was just like, I just treated it as it was just all new to me because it has been so freaking long. But anyway, back to Invincible at hand. It's just, this show, it kind of, I feel like it prides itself on what we've seen so far. It really prides itself on like the harsh realities of what it means to be the symbol of peace, because we kind of see with the main character, it's not just all about saving people. And, it's about the big deeds and the little deeds and kind of.
And similar to The Boys, it shows kind of a darker side to heroes. Like they're not Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts all the time. Yeah. Like they do bad things. They make mistakes. It happens. It's part of it. If it were real life, that's exactly how it would be.
This is definitely, and that's a great point that you bring up. This is really a nice parallel for The Boys, just animated in a way, but it's like the first 3 episodes, it's like the world building. It feels like, we've absorbed, we kind of understand what goes on in this world. They have their version of the Defenders of Earth, everyone. I feel like every non-DC or like Marvel comic book show in a way has its own version of like Superman, which is like, I mean, it makes sense because it's like, why wouldn't it be? But I like the way how, the main character becomes invincible. It's not just he's not established when the series first starts, which is what I really like. I feel like if this is a movie, maybe not, but I'm really glad that they went this route. But the show is not for like everyone.
it's definitely rated R. Like, it goes all out.
Super rated R. Like if you've seen Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War, which is one of DC's most recent animated films, it's like, I mean, there's blood, there's gore. If you've seen Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay, another DC animated film, it's just as bloody as gory. But I think this one, Invincible kind of takes the cake when it comes to the adult themes and just the
that's the one of the positives of going animated is you can do a lot more. Like you don't have to use practical effects or CGI. You can just do whatever you want because it's animated.
That and
you can have the visceral blood and gore that you want.
Yeah, I was going to say, sorry, I really got to learn to like not cut in. It really, really sucks. I'm working on it, people. I promise. But I was going to say, it's with animated like shows like this or even movies, I feel like they're going to be thriving more now than ever because you don't really need to meet up to kind of do this sort of project. I mean, you can install like an audio booth in your closet and, record your lines, do whatever, bing, bang, boom, and you're done. I mean, there might be some type of, social interaction that you may or may not need to complete a show like this. But I mean, we're a year into quarantine and this is still being like, it's thriving. Like we haven't heard any setbacks about this, but granted, we don't know when this was, being produced and being shot or being created overall, but it's great stuff. I mean, it's, like I said before, like it is much like Amazon's, The Boys. The series does contain a lot of intense violence and other mature content as well. And that's not one thing that I was expecting, but it's a nice breath, fresh of like breath. Wow, breath of fresh air. There we go. God, I cannot talk today at all. But another thing I wanted to talk about was the runtimes of at least the first 3 episodes we've seen. They're pushing like 40 to 55 minutes. It's pretty nice.
It did not feel like it either. They are breezy.
Yeah,
they pack a lot in with every episode too. A lot of storytelling.
They really do. And like I need to go. It's been a few weeks since I've seen the first 3 episodes, so I'm like really surprised that I'm actually remembering all this stuff. But I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch it prior, because the only thing I've had issues so far is like the title sequence kind of just comes in and out like at random times.
I like those. Like,
do you?
Because it's usually like a punchline of a joke. It's like, because they're saying his name. They're usually like saying his name, and they're like, "You're not invincible."
Yeah.
And the title comes in.
That is very, very true. Yeah, the pacing feels pretty well so far. It's like you said. I mean, three episodes just go by, and I really like the method that Amazon is doing with this. I think a lot of other, I guess they kind of did the same thing. WandaVision. Well, they gave us 2. Well, they gave me 3, but they gave everyone else 2. Is you give people at least 2 to 3 episodes to get a feel for what the show is, because I feel like with a lot of TV shows right now, like I'm watching Titans for the first time, and if it wasn't for me just being able to like pretty much binge the to the 2 seasons that are out, like if I was watching it week to week, I probably would lose interest. But I mean, I guess it just depends on how strong of a season pilot you have, because usually it takes a while to actually get into a show. Like even with Game of Thrones, as much as I love it, like it's near and dear to my heart, but like when I first started, like it wasn't that it was boring. It took me a while to get established and understand who was who and what was going on, because you're kind of just going in blind. Even with Bridgerton, like I love it, but it took me at least 2 to 3 episodes to really get invested. And that's the thing with TV shows, is that even like the most popular TV shows, like we have like How I Met Your Mother or like Friends or any kind of sitcom, or just even with Breaking Bad. Like I know a lot of people who have started Breaking Bad, like they've heard good things about it, but it just starts off so slow and just like extremely depressing, and it kind of turns them off from the rest of the season. So I think giving people 3 episodes at least to start, binging at once. They did the same thing with The Boys, season 2 at least. And I think it's been working out pretty well.
Yeah, I think that's the best format for releasing type of streaming shows. 3 episodes, give them a good taste of what to expect, give them some world building, and then go weekly after that. That's one of the issues with WandaVision. They only were able to give the first 2.
Yeah.
And that definitely turned some people off, because they were so different, and like people couldn't really see the vision they were going for. Pun intended. But yeah, if you give people 3 episodes, that gives them time to dive into it and like become accustomed to the world, and then you can go weekly after that and have people joining in. And
do you think
surprised?
Do you think Marvel should just give us the first 3 episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Well, it's different for that because it's only 6.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, I'm interested. When those drop out, I've been checking the old inbox. Haven't seen anything just yet, but hopefully soon enough. But so far, I really am enjoying this. I'm definitely going to, like I said, I'm going to go back and rewatch the first 3 episodes to kind of refresh my memory as when it drops, as with everyone else, just to kind of be in the crowd, because like it's great that we have a lot of our content creators or critics online who they get screeners early because it's their job and they want to get people excited for things like this. This is why we're recording this a little bit early for you guys, but sometimes it's just nice to view everything with everybody else. You know what I mean? It's just really great. I think that's kind of like what I liked about WandaVision. They only gave critics like the first 3 episodes, and then it's like, hey, watch it with everybody else. You just feel more engaged sometime, because one of my friends, he watched A Quiet Place Part 2 last year. He's had his review done for over a year, and he can't talk about it. Like, he can't talk about it at all.
Could have been us.
We were so freaking close. Like, what, a week away. I was like, dude, they're doing like a part 1, part 2, marathon kind of thing in Dolby. I had my tickets, and then COVID hit. So the last thing we saw, okay, besides Tenet, before before the lockdown, was Onward.
Yep.
Thank God we didn't see Wonder Woman 1984 in theaters.
Or Bloodshot.
That was a lot of people's last trip to the movie theaters as well. I'm hoping our first trip back will be Godzilla vs. Kong. That's what I'm hoping, for the both of us at least, just so we can. I'm so pumped. I think Ricky actually has a in-person screener. I think he's seeing it tomorrow on Tuesday. So like that's so amazing. Like, I'm so happy for him. It's great, because it's like, not only does he get to go see a movie for free, it's Godzilla versus Kong, which is like, it's one of my most anticipated, not the most anticipated, but one that's been on everybody's radar for a while. And it's like, between that and Mortal Kombat, like, we got to go see those in theaters. So it's time to get vaccinated up, Devin.
I'm looking out. I'm seeing when it'll be available.
Yeah.
Checking every day.
Yeah. Vaccines can be tough to come by, but I mean, just to kind of like my final thoughts so far, I think it's a breath of fresh air in the animated superhero genre. It definitely has a lot of heart. It's engaging, but most importantly, it shows the trials and tribulations. I like using that term. I don't know why. It shows the trials and tribulations of being the symbol of peace, taking a little page out of My Hero Academia, which, by the way, season 5 is streaming this month. I'm very, very excited. But yeah, so there you have it. That's pretty much our. Do you want to get into scores, or are we just kind of just nixing that? You good?
Yeah, I think we need more. I'm just gonna tell people, just watch it. Like, that's all we have to say.
Okay. Yeah. Literally just watch it. Like we said, Invincible is set to premiere the first 3 episodes on March 26th on Amazon Video. So yeah, let's just oh my God, excuse me. So by this time, I believe our Falcon and Winter Soldier review of the first episode will be up prior to Friday. So check that out as well. So I'm kind of, speaking into the future right now, but I believe our review will be up by then. Don't quote me on it, but I'm like 99.9% sure it should be. But let me close this out of here so we can kind of just, get the heck out of here. And it was a nice little emergency podcast we did here. We did good with the with the material we were given. I mean, it's been a few weeks, so it's like we're literally just kind of like, okay, like what happened? It's like, thank God this is like spoiler free, because if it wasn't, I would have been like, I gotta like rewatch these 3 episodes. But that's a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to check out the other podcasts over on MusicCityDriving.com. Subscribe to our show so you never miss an episode. That was Devin, and my name is Christian, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. And leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars, please, if you can, and leave us a review. So we'll see you guys later.